Hey, welcome back everyone. This is going to be part 2 of the modeling a low poly character inside Clara IO. Okay, so if you haven't seen part 1 yet, please make sure you go back and see that. So the body is way too wide, a little too thick. I'll take care of that a little bit later. I could take care of it now, but I kind of want to get more modeling done before I do that. I'm going to come up here to my perspective window, and I'm going to turn on show edges. It just helps me. It's optional. Okay, so now looking over here in my front view, what I'm noticing is that the reference image isn't quite perfectly symmetrical. This black line that's going down the grid really should be in the center. So I'm going to select my reference plane, and I'm just going to move it over on the x-axis just the tiniest bit. So now that black line really should be right there in the center. And it's just eyeballing it, but it's better now. Okay, continuing on. I'm going to get into face selection mode. Whoops, got to select the object, face selection mode. And I'm going to select this bottom face here, and I'm going to go ahead and start working on the lower body. Actually, now that I notice it, since I moved the reference image, my character's body's off a little bit. I'm going to switch to vertex mode. And I'm just going to left click and drag a selection box around and just move things a bit. I really wish I could turn the character to wireframe and then leave the image behind it as realistic. That would give me the best of both worlds. So I might have to look around and see if that's possible. But for now, this is kind of working out. So what I'm having to do is to be able to see the image behind it, I move it away, and then I can kind of move it back. It's kind of annoying, but it's working. Okay, something like that. So just little tweaks along the way. All right, go back to face select, grab the bottom face there, and let's extrude. Now this one I am going to rotate, so E, rotate a little bit. I want to start to angle it for the waist there a little bit. Now you don't want the waist, actually I'm going to get the waist right about there, and then I'll start extruding out, and that's what will separate the legs here. Okay, back into face mode, still selected, great. Extrude out, press R, scale it in, vertex mode, move. This is why the keys W, E, and R are so very important, because they will allow you to just move so much faster. E for rotate. There we go, something like that. Okay, one more extrusion. And you kind of get the idea. It's really, it's kind of the exact same thing over and over and over again. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and continue going down here, and I'll do another extrusion right here in the middle of the quadricep. Then I'll do another extrusion down here to the kneecap, another extrusion right here for the middle of the calf, another extrusion down here for the ankle, and then I'll meet you down here for the foot. Okay, so here I am. Here's the whole leg. You can see I just had to do a couple of extrusions, and then I just switched to vertex mode and kind of shaped it a little bit. You'll see if we rotate, ooh, he's definitely too wide or too deep. Again, we'll take care of that a little bit later. Okay, we're going to focus on the feet. Now, from this angle, you don't get a whole lot of information, so you're going to have to do a little bit of figuring out there. Okay, so now that I've got this set up, I'll go ahead and maybe grab the side, bring it out a little bit wider, go to vertex mode, bring in that calf, just so it's got that nice angle. And I think I'm gonna do it kind of like what you see here. So I'm gonna take this, it's like that, and then I'm gonna do one more extrusion going down, not quite that far down. He's not wearing like platform shoes, and then something like that. There we go. So he's got a little bit of a, yeah. And then I'll take these two faces. I just held down the control key to select both of them, and I'll go ahead and I'll move them forward. Now moving them forward is going to just kind of stretch that other piece like that. So that's where we need to extrude again. So I'm going to take both of those and yeah, if we extrude, it can now come out a little bit. Now we get into the real shaping. I'll maybe select edge mode, bring this edge down a little bit so it's a little bit more of a shapely foot. Yeah, that's feeling a little bit better. Again, this is where you can get really detailed. I can take that edge right there and just bring it in a touch, just to give a little bit of a curvature to the inside of the foot. It's a subtle detail, but I think it will matter. Maybe I'll do the opposite, and I'll take this edge right here, bring that out a little bit. Whoa. Not quite that far, but just a little bit. Something like that. And then maybe I'll select all of these edges here on the outside and bring those in just a little bit. His foot's looking like it's a little too wide. There we go. Okay. So that's feeling a little bit better, looking a little bit better. Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay, so that's looking pretty good now. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move on to the neck and the head. Okay. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and call it here for part 2. And then part 3 we'll do the neck, the head, and then fix the thickness of this character. All right, thank you for sticking around for part 2. Part 3 will be coming up later. Thank you, everyone.